Hello everyone and welcome to a good old-fashioned Age of Empires gangbang as Gamer Legion's Hera, playing as the Mongols in blue, teams up with DauT, playing as the Britons in red, to take on no fewer than 6 opponents, all at the exact same time, all on the map Black Forest, which we will look at in a second. But before we get into that, let's take a look at the players, the civilizations that we are going to be watching today. Then we are going to jump into the map because I already see a few unfortunate things as pings start going down all around the map. In gray, we've got DodgiDorado playing as the Koreans in his pocket. Ernie King 1 as the Malay in the, I guess the other pocket. We've got Ding Dong, okay, one of my favorite names of so far, playing as the Aztecs in orange. And then in the other pocket, djuerko playing as the Hindustanis in green and teal. We've got DOM.DauT. Ooh, is that supposed to mimic the sound of Netflix? Dum, or whatever the, I think that's the Netflix sound, right? In any event, whether it's meant to or not, we've got DOM.DauT in teal playing as the Bulgarians. And last but not least, as the Georgians in yellow, Spion 234. Okay, so I have a few housekeeping things to mention as I cast this 2 versus 6 on Black Forest, as it looks like Ernie King, our Malay, has already moved forward and he's laming Hera. Oh my goodness. Number 1, I have placed the relative Elos of all of the players. I shouldn't say relative Elos, just the Elos of the players right next to their names. So you can either take a look at the top where you'll see Hera, DauT, etc., or you can take a look at the bottom right side of your screen. If you want to look at their Elos in that fashion, you'll see there is a huge difference in Elos, not only between Team Gamer Legion and the other 6 players on the map, but between the 6 players themselves. It goes anywhere from 900 to 1400. So it should be fun for everyone to watch. Now, number 2, I'm going to apologize in advance. You guys are used to watching my videos, I hope, with some picture-in-picture goodness. I'm going to try to get about as much action as I can. There's a reason I live stream Black Forest or Rage Forest, and that is because there's usually at around, I want to say, the 25 to 30 minute mark in most 4v4s. That's when things start happening, and it's very hard to keep track of 7 different locations at once. I'll do my best. Not gonna lie, I probably will miss a thing or two here. And then last but not least, as I go around the map and I look at the civilizations and so forth, I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of the civs. I'm not going to go into my usual description as I would in a 1 versus 1. Here, pulling a rhino with a scout. Remember, these wild, vicious animals do come with attack bonuses. Cavalry +3, Eagle Warrior +4, Camel +8. And so Hera's going to have to be a little bit careful here, threading the needle between running away and staying pretty close so that the rhino doesn't get bored, just like this. A little bit of a ADHD rhino here, needs constant attention. And so I'm not really going to get into the civs exactly into the details. As the game progresses, we'll see how long it lasts, if it lasts very long at all, because 2 versus 6, in my opinion, is it's not a question of whether Hera and DauT will win. It's how long they can stay alive, in my opinion. So hopefully they stay alive a long time. Hera really's got to be in his bonnet for this rhino. What I'm going to do instead is go over the team bonuses of these civilizations. So we'll start with Team Gamer Legion because it's easier to go over 2 team bonuses than 6, as Hera pulls his, I guess, 3rd or 4th rhino. He did lose a yak, which means, rather a water buffalo, my apologies. So 150 food did go to purple, unless he donated that yak to gray. So speaking of gray, Koreans are going to have a pretty darn useful team bonus where their mangonel lines are of everybody. Remember, team bonuses apply to all of the players. All 6 of them benefit from this bonus or feature characteristic, whatever you want to call it. Koreans, what they bring to the table, all mangonel line units now have a minimum range of 1 instead of the usual 3. Which makes attack grounds a lot more dangerous, and it makes defending against melee units, or at least defending your mangonel line units against melee units, a lot easier. In purple, we've got the Malay. There's not exactly the most useful The team bonus is that their docks have double the line of sight. What the hell is DauT doing over here? Creating a little dipper style wall off. It looks like maybe he was afraid his villager would die. And so, like I said, action already happening everywhere around the map as DauT's scout has to deal with a few scouts of their opponents. Hera joining in on the fight as well. Oh no, oh no, oh no. And our Briton loses a villager. We'll be able to shoo this away though now that Hera's scout is here. Maybe they wanted 2 versus 1. This guy, no, Hera says, okay, maybe not. A little bit of hesitation out of our Mongol in blue. Now, I did realize that I just said I would go over the team bonuses of Hera and DauT, and then I immediately started going over the team bonuses of their enemies, the opponents. So I'm just going to keep going like that, keep going with it. I'm just going to roll with it. I'm flying off the seat of my pants or off the cuff, whatever the expression is. Bear with me here. We've got the Aztecs. Theirs is a pretty cool bonus. All relics generate 33% more gold. Now the Hindustani, kind of, but maybe not really a useful bonus. Camels and light cavalry units have an extra +2 attack against standard buildings, houses, town centers, etc. Now, one thing I should note is that when I say camels and light cavalry units, I don't mean just scouts, light cavs, and hussars. Technically, light cavalry also includes Shrivamshas, Magyar hussars, and steppe lancers, but those are 3 units that I don't think we're going to get to see out of these 6 civilizations, as the Shrivamshas, there's no Gurjaras here, Magyar hussars, there's no Magyar, and steppe lancers, I don't see Cumans or Tatars. Now, steppe lancers would have been helpful for Hera to have as the Mongol, that bonus, but I don't expect to see any of those. So basically, scouts, light cav, hussars, and camel units all come with a +2 attack bonus against buildings. Our Bulgarian in teal, dum-dum. Their blacksmiths work 80% faster, so that is a very useful bonus for all of the players to have. Quicker upgrades mean better units on the field of battle, and especially when you outnumber your opponent 6-2, having better upgrades on your probably already larger army is not a bad thing at all. Man, they have chosen DauT as the victim of their aggression here. Hera so far, nice and safe and sound. And last but not least, we've got the Georgians with perhaps maybe one of the most useful, if not the most useful team bonus in this matchup, where they allow everyone repairing structures to spend 25% fewer resources, so cheaper to repair things, which means those things can last a lot longer with whatever resources you do have. Now let's take a look at the Mongol. Their scout line units come with extra line of sight, so you'll see, I guess it's a little hard to see here with all the buildings around. I should have probably looked at that. Probably should have done what I said I was going to do and taken a look at that scout when he was down here helping DauT. The eagle being very annoying, by the way. And for the Britons, the archery ranges work 10% faster, which might actually be very helpful for our Mongol, since they have some pretty darn good cav archers. Looks like the spearman poked and prodded. No, where did I hear a... I apologize. I was thinking so much about the team bonuses. I heard a horse die. Oh, it must have been down here. I immediately thought it was the spearman, but then I was figuring there's no horse here. I didn't see a horse, so that's why I had to click him and see. Hera is pinging this part of the map. Are they going to try to 2v1? So like I said, I don't expect Hera and DauT to win. Don't call me a naysayer. Don't call me negative Nancy or whatever you want to call me. I think it's a nigh impossible. And why do I say that? For a few reasons. Number one, look at the map. Hera has to defend 2 avenues of attack against 3 players. DauT also has to defend 2 avenues of attack for 3 players. Even this forest here is annoyingly placed that he can't really wall off the entirety and still be safe, as he gets tower dropped by the Georgian. Epic. The Georgian, by the way, continuing to throw away scouts. DauT's spearman already racking up 3 kills, but I see a dead male villager here, his back melting into the grassland. So number one, I think if there was 1 avenue of attack for Hera and 1 avenue of attack for DauT, probably easier. These are some good long-range turtling civs. You've got the Mongols with the Mangudai, the Cav Archers, the Steppe Lancers, the ridiculously fast-moving siege and powerful siege at that. And then you have the Britons with the longest range archer in the game, the longbow with 12 tiles of range. DauT doing DauT things as he moves south with his villagers. So that's number one. Number two, we're not on Rage Forest. Now, if you've joined us during our live streams, you'll know the difference between Rage Forest and Black Forest. If there's just one difference, I'm assuming there might be more. But the big difference is that in Rage Forest, there is a symmetry of lakes, which means if DauT and Hera had 2 lakes, then their opponents would have 2 lakes. This is Black Forest, which means there's a lot more randomness. And as the Mangudai chases away this Eagle Scout, let's take a look at that randomness, but let's take a look at this guy die first. And then we'll take a look. DauT's villagers are approaching this northern border of the Georgian territory, but take a look on the minimap. 1 lake, 2 lake, 3 lake, 4 lakes for team 6 players. Only 0 lakes for DauT and Hera. So the longevity of their civilizations, their settlements, is called into question. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Spy on 234 playing in yellow, the Viper's colors, channeling his inner Viper, and he's walled in all of DauT's villagers. Oh no! Come on, turn around, turn around! Oh, that was so close. DauT was literally millimeters away from losing all of his 8 villagers and 2 spearmen by having them trapped in here. That would have been absolutely epic. How's the tower doing, by the way? Any kills for you? 0 kills. So aside from laming a bit of stone, which our Briton has to the rear of his base, tower mission not really super duper accomplished. It looks like there is peace to the north of the map, whereas the south is completely engulfed in war. Mangudai have joined in here, so now these yellow villagers are going to be paying the price. You want to act like the Viper, you will die like the Viper, says Hera, as he begins gunning down these villagers with the Mangudai. What will DauT do? And by the way, the user interface, the top, you have all 6 players. You have all of their various army compositions showing the individual units. The number of villagers is what's next to the hammer with the 37, 38, etc. And then if you're interested in seeing, I don't know, how much gold DauT has, how much wood Hera has, well, then you can look at the bottom right of your screen to see wood, food, gold, and stone of all of the players. And by the way, Capture Age, kudos to them, have introduced a few cool new features for their user interface as DauT places a big, fat Briton castle right here, laming a good amount of stone for our Bulgarian. Not our Bulgarian, sorry, I saw the Krepos, I thought Bulgarian. No, this is the Georgian base. Number 1, now you can actually take a look at the makeup of the scores. How much of that is military, economic, technology, and society? And number 2, take a look at this in the bottom center of your screen in a second. You can actually see how many resources are left on the map. 2 million wood, 10,000 food, meaning all the animals and yaks and fish and so forth. 103,000 gold and 28.7k stone. How cool is that? So kudos to Capture Age for consistently developing and improving their product. Camel from our Hindustani gets gunned down by the Briton castle. DauT making no attempt to get rid of this. Let's see what the players are doing behind this. Now, I would be remiss if we didn't go kind of over the civilizations maybe a little bit more. I feel kind of guilty. Usually I go into so much detail of the civilizations. Call it caster's guilt. But we'll see. We'll see how the things shape up. Oh, Hera laming the food. Oh, DauT says, why are you laming it? I'm hungry. My villagers need to eat. The big weaknesses. I'm going to go over the weaknesses, what I think at least the weaknesses are. I mean, obviously you're much more, not much more, you're absolutely free to agree or disagree. The Britons, aside from their weak cavalry, overall, they're kind of slow. So this is not a civilization built to run around and defend multiple locations, which means Hera's kind of on his own. That being said, DauT is not, because the Mongol army is very much a mobile army, but the Mongol army is, how do I put this? A little bit squishy, right? I mean, they're missing the final armor upgrades on some of their key units. The Hussars do come with extra HP, but they are missing the last armor upgrade. Their Mangudai are nice, but they're also missing the last armor upgrade. And I'm trying to think, going up against... who's the Mongol going up against? He's going up the Koreans. Oh, goodness gracious. 10 range siege onagers are going to be problematic. Cheaper archer units. Armor upgrades for free on those archer units. He's going up against the Malay with the ridiculous ability to spam battle elephants. Although remember, that comes at a cost. The Malay battle elephants, their armor is also ridiculous. I shouldn't say also, it's just ridiculously terrible. And the Aztecs with their monks, their siege, their eagle warriors. The Mongols, correct me if I'm wrong, have one of the worst monastery lines in the game, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're missing a lot of technologies on for their monks. So taking on the Aztecs, whose monks can come with 100 HP and every single freaking technology in the game, we'll see. Now, the last thing I'll point out before we dive in right into the action is I just also realized, why am I so negative? Although I shouldn't say negative. Let's say realistic, which is what every negative person says. I'm not negative. I'm realistic. I'm just spitting facts. Team non-GL, meaning the 6 players, they can trade, right? There's a lot of distance on the minimap between them. So the longer the game goes, the harder it's going to be for Hera and DauT to destroy their opponents. So I like what DauT is doing here. Knock out one player, at least try to knock out one player as early as possible. Everyone is in Castle Age at the moment. Mangadai does die to, what, the town center? Yeah, the town center. I love popping out a Mangonel here for Spy on 234. Gets rid of the ram, and with that ram, the longbow is not that scary of a unit. The range is fantastic, but range alone is good, not great. It doesn't really pack a punch at 6 base attack, especially not as more and more Mangonels start popping out. Oh, who hit Imperial first? Ding dong. Ding dong. The Castle Age is dead, says our Aztec, as he hits up Imperial. And what does he have in the forward position? A barracks, an archery range, a siege workshop, and even more barracks. Eagle warrior. Will he become? Will he mature and grow up to be a man, an eagle, elite eagle warrior? We'll see. We'll find out. I'm going to have to guess probably. Hera pinging over here. Hera pinging over here and over here to tell his teammate probably, hey, let's just make sure that we wall. By the way, Hera playing this very much Arabia style. He hasn't even explored this area of attack. Just now seeing that a gate is going up, he has no clue there's a castle here. He has no clue there's a bunch of war wagons with their ridiculous armor. Now, Mangadai, generally, their attack bonuses against siege. I mean, obviously, spearmen, every cav archer comes with a spearman, but siege +3, this is not a siege unit. This is a mobile, ridiculous killing unit that has 5 armor. 3 of that is base. Hera does catch out a few Eagle Warriors. They are not yet elite. They don't have that cool headdress that the elite ones get. The game is now afoot as Hera. Okay. Secures a bit of a small penetration into DauT's base. Now his Mangonels are going to squash a few Eagles. Ooh, good attack round. I feel like that should have done a lot more damage. Why did that not do that much damage? Interesting. You know why? Because he was on an elevation, and as I always like to say, elevation is illusion in Age of Empires. Longbows try to get something done here as well, but the Krepos is up. The battering ram might want to continue battering down that wall. Britain Castle is still up, but aside from laming a bit of stone, which our Georgian... I mean, you need it if you want to go Manaspas. But aside from that, the Georgian siege line is pretty darn good as well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some Georgian siege. Hera chooses the south entrance to defend with static, the north entrance to defend with mobile. But again, these are not siege units, which means the Mangadai do 9 damage to a unit with 5 armor, 4 damage to a unit with 150 HP. Now, the one saving grace, the amazing thing about the Mangadai is its ridiculous firing speed. What is it, 1.7 without thumbering? Yeah, 1.7. By the way, Capture Age got a lot more specific now, which is both good and bad, right? Look at the attack reload time, 1.68. I kind of liked it when it was 1.7. But specificity is never a bad thing. By the way, our Hindustani doing a fantastic job bringing army. Not really using it at the moment. Maybe they're waiting for one big push. Our Bulgarian has no army whatsoever. Where is his scout? Why are you all the way down here on what looks like a patrol command? Why is that scout all the way there? Hera says, okay, enough's enough. I've got my infrastructure up. I am in Imperial. I've got 18 going up to 19 Mangudai, and I am on the warpath. His onagers are now siege onagers. Hera's shown us some amazing attack rounds. Will he be able to take out these battle elephants? Like I said, the Malay battle elephants are notoriously weak in terms of armor. Looks like the Eagles managed to snipe one of these siege onagers. So Hera defends to the south, to the north. A castle is enough for now. But once trebs start coming out, Grey still in castle, so no trebs yet. But once they do start coming out, and it is a when, not if scenario, because Hera is no longer pushing in to Grey, or actually never pushed into Grey, which means Grey is gonna have a good time rushing up to Imperial. And right as I say that, he hits Imperial. More and more players. DauT and Hera now are both in Imperial. The team composed of 6 players. I really should have given them a name before I started casting. Team Sixers. Let's call them the Sixers. Not to get too sportsy about it. Battle elephants. Still just Eagle warriors are chasing in. I mean, Hera is accomplishing quite a lot with his band of Mangudai. I did not think the Mangudai would do this well. There's not a single dead Mangudai here after a few died over here. This guy just kind of hanging out. Hey, I don't need to fight. I've got 0 kills. I'm just going to watch things happen. Wow. Hera showing us the power of mobility against a slower moving, weaker, less armored unit. DauT now has a second castle up. He has lamed a lot of Georgian resources, by the way. 2 patches of gold, 2 patches of stone. Our Georgian just has 1 last patch of gold, which explains why he has only 338 gold. And now that Britain trebs are coming out, Hindustani castle, though, is on the high ground, so it will take a bit of a pounding before it goes down. There's the Georgian castle. Or my apology. Yeah, no, that is a Georgian castle. Where's our Bulgarian? He's going Conics. All right. Does he have stirrups yet? Yes, he does. If you go Conics, their attack speed is 2.4 seconds, which is the slowest melee attacking cavalry unit in the game. And so you do need stirrups to roid that up to 1.8 second delay. And Hera moves out. He sees a whole bunch of elephants. Still not enough Mangudai to one-shot the elephants. So he's going to have to play a little bit careful here. And this is quite a train. Oh, regrouping. He pops a bunch of them into the castle. That's definitely going to help against these less armored elephants. Pops them off to the left. He's going to go after the treb. Of course he's going to go after the treb. Siege onagers, think twice. And down goes the treb in the blink of an eye. Purple decides to retreat to chase, to maybe cut off the retreating path of the Mangudai, but fails at that. You do have the slower moving units here. And now you're facing siege onagers. What is our Korean doing? He's lost his castle. No one's attempting to cut through any kind of forest action. Erupting on the map, all of a sudden the Conics show up. They get a whole bunch of Britain trebs. I do apologize. I'm gonna try to get as much as I can in picture, but the Conics are now being fired on by 3 castles. Yikes. The elephants. Oh my goodness. Hera on the high ground. 62 kills for these Mangudai. 64 now. Actually, not 64. Who got that kill? The castle, I guess, got the kill. Tries to put up a castle. Eagle, still just Eagle warriors. Everyone is now in Imperial. Why do we not see elite Eagle warriors? I'm not too sure. Ding dong. Our Aztec has no army left and he's going skirmishers? Okay, not a bad, I guess not a bad choice. If you get Atalot to add attack and range to them. Conics are running amok, absolutely decimating the villager count here. What an absolute tanky beast of a unit, the Conic. The game's only 2 for. You get 2 units for the price of 1. Although I guess you could argue the Rata is kind of a 2-for-1 unit. Simultaneous double whammy as the castles go down. It always reminds me whenever structures go down at the same time of all those like ancient Vesuvius couples that they find holding hands. The very sad, very emotionally charged findings of people buried, holding hands, hugging each other. The dual castles fall, but a backup Britain castle is being planned. I don't know with what villagers he thinks he's going to construct it as he tries to finish a barracks of all things here. And this is where things get dicey. This is where things start getting dicey because now Hera cannot support DauT. DauT cannot really support Hera. They have not knocked out any players, which means they're going to get triple teamed. You're gonna let your imagine run wild with that. Hera and DauT are each gonna get triple teamed right now. Teal, yellow, and green. Bulgarian, Georgian, and Hindustani are gonna try to take out the Briton. Now our Hindustani, if he sees barracks, might want to add some of those Shatagni hand cannoneers with 9 range. That's gonna be pretty darn good. Castle goes up, not for very long though, with 3 Trebs on its hot on its tail. On this side, okay, maybe 4 versus 1 on Hera. His Mangadai seem to be faring a lot better. 90 kills. That's more than 3 kills per Mangadai. They do seem to be faring a little bit better than the longbows to the south. Our Aztec still has no army presence here. 22 skirmishers. Our Malay is spending his resources on those discounted battle elephants, which are now chasing the siege onagers. Oh, if only you had that Korean bonus, you could attack with a 1 tile minimum range. And here come the hussars from Hera. Is he going to try to go after the economy? Am I seeing trade? Hello. Awesome. Awesome out of Team Sixers. But where is the Aztec? Where is the Korean? Why is your army just here doing nothing? And why is it skirmishers? Okay, now remember the Koreans have ridiculously cheap archers because they have that ridiculous discount on wood. Okay, our Aztec makes an appearance here hiding behind the barracks. I'm trying to remember the Korean wood discount. Yeah, I think it's 50%, right? Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, if you see your opponent go infantry as the Hindustani, definitely add some Shatagni hand cannoneers, which green is not doing. He's gone up to Imperial Camel, which Imperial, though cool sounding, is going to melt to these halberdiers. But the halberdiers are going to melt to the conics. No! Why did you go through the gate? Silly, silly halberdier. Hera is going after the trader, at least attempting to, but a quick wall off here. Or maybe not. Why are these guys not moving? Why are the hussars not moving? They are elephant bait. And our Korean hits back finally with no fewer than 90 skirmishers. Oh my god. Some of you have asked me to cast lower elo games, mid elo games. Seeing 90 skirmishers firing their fiery sticks makes me definitely want to do that. By the way, did he get outlawed? No. Our Aztec has a +1 attack on his skirmishers. Conics to the back. The thud, 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 thud of their flails. Ooh, but they're not turning around. They do get it now. Will they turn around? Will they fight the halberdiers once the dust settles? No, they're going straight after the villagers. A few of them are going after the halberdiers. Looks like he's moving them, but the regrouping is absolutely atrocious. By the way, there's enough dismounted conics here to kill these halberdiers, or maybe not, actually. There's a lot of halberdiers here. To the south of DauT's base, he is being overrun. More and more Treb, more and more skirmishers. Trying to click on one to see the upgrades. Georgian skirmisher is attack-wise fully upgraded. Hera's hussars with the extra 30% HP are going to be able to take out these skirmishers from our Korean, but then what? What do you do to the south? Hera's got 27 Mangadai. Where are they? They're in the castles. 20 of them at least. And then what, 7 over here? Yep. And now our Aztec says, forget my unique upgrades. Forget upgrades altogether. I'm just going to rely on my attack bonuses against the cavalry archer and archer armor class. And by the way, look at the mini-map. We have a lot of action as the conics continue. Yeah, the dismounteds took that battle against the halberdiers. Hera is pinging over here. Not too sure why. Maybe reminding DauT that he's got a Treb that he can use to try to take down this castle, but more conics, more Imperial camels. are moving forward. Somehow, these Mongol castles remain alive. I guess the somehow is the 6,400 HP that they have. And that is all she wrote. And how long did they last? 50 minutes is not bad. That is not bad at all for being outnumbered 3-1, 6-2. Now Hera's got eagles raiding to the back of his base. He's got even more Korean units. By the way, the only infantry unit, pardon me, the only infantry unit that saves on wood is the halberdier, I believe. I don't think any other infantry unit that the Koreans have, or any infantry unit, period, costs wood except for the spearman line units. So, full on trash. The only player here on this side of the map who did not go full trash, actually, I shouldn't say full trash, as these eagles finally they're elite. Oh, but no Garland Wars, so they're stuck at a 13 attack instead of a 17 like they could have. I was going to say no trash. Where are the karambits? Okay, so Hera's been breached. We saw the castle crumble. The second one's going to fall. I love that he got murder holes. Finally, there's a situation where a pro player gets murder holes. No fewer than 16 stables in the forward position. How many in total? 17. How many barracks for our Briton? 14. And this is exactly what I was talking about. The two avenues of attack are a little bit, I mean, to the south, not really relevant because they're not using the second, but to the north, definitely relevant. Hera being pressed into by the Koreans here, by the Malay and the Aztecs over here. The Aztec, by the way, how many times have I said this on this channel? If you're playing against the Meso Civs with their eagles, wall the hell out of your base, because in the late game, they're just going to raid the ever-loving hell out of you, but you can't really do that on Black Forest. How the hell do you... Sorry, I've been saying the word hell a lot in the last 5 seconds. How do you wall this off? You can't, which means you're exposed, which means that you are about to die. I don't know why... What are these skulls? By dodging? By dom? I don't know what any of that means. Hera, I don't think he was dodging anything. I think he realized that he was about to get overrun. And what are his resources like? He's got enough food for, 11 more hussars? He's got a lot of wood in the bank, does Hera. And DauT, where is DauT? He's got nothing. He's got a bit of gold. Now, the Britons, on a shoestring budget, can perform quite well. But this is a little bit too shoestring. 87 food, 500 wood, and 800 gold is pretty good. But not against a, fully upgraded Camel Rider. How are the upgrades on the Conics? Also fully upgraded Conics. So Team Sixers eventually overwhelmed by sheer volume alone, carving up their game plan into two parts. Raid the hell out of the economy with whatever units you have. And my goodness, look at all the dead Mongol villagers. Look at all the empty spaces where once were lush Briton farms. That's part one. And then part two, just bust your way in. I like that our Georgian placed the castle. He's got 5 hand cannoneers and 42 skirmishers now. I don't know that the Georgian necessarily should have gone skirmishers. Somebody maybe had to because of the Britons. So not the end of the world for him to go skirmishers, because in a 3 versus 1, when your opponents are going heavy camels. Now, the heavy camels, I have a big question about. In the comments, let me know. Was that the smart choice? Was that the, I shouldn't say smart choice. Was that the optimal choice for our Hindustani? I thought maybe Shatagni hand cannoneers and Gulams would have been a little bit better. Gulams definitely would have decimated. Maybe he wanted the mobility, since look at him. He's all the way back here and he doesn't really have any kind of infrastructure in the forward position. So maybe he chose camels on purpose, djuerko, because he could run them in much quicker. Yeah, he's got no forward infrastructure at all. So he's reinforcing from light years away. He needs Han Solo to help teleport him to travel much quicker all the way to the battlefield. On the other side of the map, though, yeah, Hera just getting 3v1'd here from 2 different locations. Like I said, if there was one avenue of attack, if this was the only avenue of attack, you best believe Hera would have set a ring of castles, siege onagers, and then outposts all along here and here to make sure there was no breaches, no cutting, and then absolutely tried to defend it. But against 2 avenues of attack and against Eagle Warriors and now Karambits, I don't know that you can hold this. I don't know that anyone can hold this when you're outnumbered 3-1. But let's take a look at the stats. Most trained units for Team Gamer Legion, 128 Hussars. I'm surprised it's Hussars and not Longbows, or even Briton Halberdiers, and Conics for Team Sixers. By the way, it's cool you can see the second and third most trained dismounted Conics. Isn't this part of this? Interesting and weird at all at the same time. Let's take a look at the economies on the whole. How many resources? Who slung who? Our Malay, the biggest donor. Our Aztec, the biggest recipient. Relic gold from our Malay. 4 relics. Remember, 33% more gold. So this, for any other time without the Aztecs, would have been 3,000 gold. But now that it's with the Aztecs in play, that team bonus is 4,000. Trade profit for our Malay. So look at this. This is the real nail in the coffin, because the longer the game goes on, the more difficult it just gets for Hera and his Briton friend DauT to hold on. And yeah, you can see 0 trade. Now, out of the 6 Sixers, 3 of them didn't have any trade, which is not great for a game 50 minutes in. Probably want to get some trade a little bit earlier, especially when you have the Hindustanis on your team and those caravanserais can start. By the way, did Green put down any caravanserais to help the trade? I'm trying to see the trade route. Absolutely not. So Green playing it more close to the vest with his base. Not even a caravanserai here, unless my old eyes are not seeing things properly. And let's take a look at kill count and raises and see most kill count. Yeah, Hera with 512. Who came in second? DauT with 335. Okay, so when you've got the ranged unit and the defender's advantage, you generally do end up killing a lot more than your opponents. By the way, let's do the tallies very quickly. This is like 850 or so. 85, 173, 400, let's say 450, 570, 610. So Hera and DauT actually got more kills, the 2 of them, than the 6 other players combined. But I think the villager kills and the economy destruction, ultimately conversions, desertions, none. And Hera with the most building raises with those ridiculous siege unders, but also looks like, oh, look at DauT destroyed 15 buildings. He lost 20 though. So they did the most damage, but they also took the most damage. Hera lost 12 buildings, DauT lost 20. And wow, well, there you go. If you wanted to know if you and a friend can last against 6 players of, like I said, varying Elos, well, there's your answer. You better hope that you spawn, number 1, some lakes on your side of the map, even though Team Sixers didn't really take advantage of their lakes. They took advantage of their trade, which is how much? 107 per payload, 72 for purple. I guess this purple trade card is going to this market and not any of these. Is there one in yellows? Yeah, there's one in yellows base as well. So they had the trade up. Hera and DauT probably could have had trade, but what would it have paid? 40 gold? Oh, look at that. Hera did have the idea to do it. DauT? DauT said, I don't want anything. I'm not a man of commerce. I am a man of war, death, and destruction, he says. And unfortunately, it is war, death, and destruction that was invited upon his head as Team Sixers overwhelms to the front, to the rear, to the double front, and to the rear. And with that, our Gamer Legion duo, the dynamic duo, we'll let them decide which one's Batman, which one's Robin, but let's call them the Gamer Legion duo. They lasted a good 50 minutes. Let me know in the comments, could they have done something different? Like I said, I didn't expect them to win this game. I just wanted to see how long they would last. Should they have attacked a player early? Should they have tried to kill one of the players, 2v1 them like they tried with yellow initially when Hera sent a few Mangadai down here? Should they have been a bit more active trying to snipe the trade? Should they have carved a path through the forest to Grandma's house? Should they, could they, would they have done anything different? Doesn't really matter. Ultimately, we had in front of us 50 minutes of absolute fun and mayhem, and I hope I've done this game a little bit of justice, and I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, doesn't really matter, in my opinion, who wins, who loses, but truly GG to all players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.